Juicy melt-in-your-mouth steaks or tough flavorless disasters. We've ranked the 5 most overrated steakhouses you should never step foot in. Number 5. Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse is everywhere. You've seen the signs, heard the name, and probably tried it once. Drawn in by the promise of a hearty, Aussie-inspired feast. Step inside and it's all rustic wood. Kookaburras on the wall. And that famous bloomin' onion. Crispy, colossal, and undeniably Instagram-worthy. The steaks are advertised as aged, butter-topped, and cooked to order. On paper, it looks perfect. But here's the reality. Outback is wildly inconsistent. One location might serve a ribeye that's tender, juicy, and cooked exactly how you asked. Another location? A chewy, overcooked slab of beef that feels more like shoe leather than steak. The bloomin' onion can be golden and crunchy or greasy and limp. Reviews are full of stories like this. I asked for medium, got well done. Service was non-existent, wouldn't return. Or, steak was okay, but the sides were cold, and the appetizer was soggy. Part of the problem is the chain size. With hundreds of locations across the country, quality depends entirely on the kitchen staff that night. Outback has all the tools to be a great steakhouse, but the results swing wildly. It's like a blockbuster movie franchise. Sometimes you hit the jackpot, other times it's a flop. If you thought a gamble was frustrating, wait until you see a place that leans on memories instead of flavor. Number 4. Haas's Family Steak & Sea. Walking into Haas's Family Steak & Sea feels like stepping into 1985. The decor and vibe are all old-school Americana. For those who love nostalgia, it has a certain charm. The buffet-style soup, salad, and dessert bar is the highlight. Heaping plates of chicken noodle soup, iceberg lettuce drenched in ranch, pasta salads, and even a slice of pie for dessert. For some, that's enough to keep coming back. But here's the problem. The steak is forgettable. Reviews from diners across locations tell a consistent story. Meals that are fine in a pinch, but nothing you'll remember an hour later. Steaks are often bland, overcooked, or just average. Even loyal patrons admit that while the buffet is comforting, the main event, the steak, is underwhelming. In the contemporary steakhouse market where chains compete on quality, flavor, and consistency, Haas's simply falls apart. It's friendly, nostalgic, and offers a good buffet, but it doesn't make it a particularly notable steakhouse. A dull main course can't be made up for by traditional foods and good memories. In short, Haas's is a comfortable trip down memory lane. But if you're serious about steak, it's easily forgettable. That's why it lands low on our list of overrated chains. Haas's might fill your plate, but can the next chain actually deliver a steak worth remembering? Number 3. Longhorn Steakhouse. Longhorn Steakhouse looks good on paper. Fresh, never frozen steaks, a modern Western vibe, and that dependable honey wheat bread makes it seem like a solid choice. But don't be fooled. This is a classic case of style over consistency. Reviews across the country tell the real story. One night, the outlaw ribeye is tender, juicy, and cooked perfectly. The next night, the same cut comes out tough, chewy, and almost flavorless. Servers can be rushed or overwhelmed, leaving diners frustrated when the meal doesn't match the hype. Even loyal fans admit it. Sometimes you can get a great steak, sometimes a forgettable one. The menu is wide, which sounds good, but it can't save the core product, steak. That's supposed to be the main attraction. The bread and sides are decent and the atmosphere is okay for a casual meal, but they don't make up for a steak that fails to impress. The reason Longhorn Steakhouse is on our overrated list is that despite its claims of a dependable steakhouse experience, it frequently delivers a gamble. It's like a student who has all the potential in the world but never quite performs when it counts. If you're serious about a great steak, Longhorn may leave you disappointed more often than not. Longhorn often leaves diners hanging. Now let's step into a place where the party is bigger than the steak. Stick around and hit subscribe. You won't want to miss this. Number 2. Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse has made a name for itself with lively energy, line dancing staff, and those legendary cinnamon honey rolls. Walk in and it feels like a celebration, full of families, music, and noise. It's charming, but the steak? That's another story. Many diners say the quality of the steak is a total lottery. Some nights you might get a juicy, well-seasoned Dallas filet or ribeye that's cooked just right. But other nights the steak arrives cold, overcooked, or unevenly grilled. One reviewer wrote, "My sirloin was so dry it barely cut with a knife." These complaints aren't isolated. Across locations, the inconsistency is the main issue. Even when cooked correctly, the flavor often falls flat. USDA choice beef is standard here, but many diners note it lacks the richness or depth you'd expect from a steakhouse. Sauces and seasonings sometimes mask the meat, rather than enhance it, leaving a generic taste. The rolls and fun atmosphere might keep customers happy, but Texas Roadhouse struggles to deliver the steak it promises. In a world of steakhouses aiming for quality and reliability, this chain's food frequently disappoints. Fun for a night out? Yes. But a steak you'll remember? Rarely. From lively celebrations to full-on Roadhouse roulette, this is the worst of the worst, and it's up next. Number 1. Logan's Roadhouse. Step into Logan's Roadhouse and it's chaos from the start. Hand-painted murals, neon signs, wooden floors, loud country music, and buckets of peanuts scattered across the tables set the scene for a fun Roadhouse night. On paper, it's a steak lover's playground. Grilled ribeye, beer-battered onion rings, shrimp, and other comfort classics. But the reality? A gamble you rarely win. The steaks here are Midwestern USDA choice. Good enough in theory, but diners often find them rubbery, overcooked, or just plain bland. One reviewer slammed their meal. Steak was like rubber. Mashed potatoes tasted and looked reheated. Sprite was missing syrup. Server had a terrible attitude, another wrote. I felt like the staff weren't trained. Very dysfunctional. Food was mediocre at best. Even the menu itself is inconsistent. Sometimes the fried catfish gets more praise than the steak, which is supposed to be the star. Logan's is a total roulette wheel. One visit might deliver a decent meal. The next, a steak colder than your ex's heart. In a world where consistency and flavor define a good steakhouse, Logan's fails on both counts. It's messy, unpredictable, and often disappointing. A place that earns the bottom spot for all the wrong reasons. After all that chaos and disappointment, it's time to reward your taste buds. Here are the 2 steakhouses that actually get it right. Fogo de Chao. If you've ever wanted steak to be more than just a meal, Fogo de Chao is where it happens. This Brazilian churrascaria turns dinner into a show, with gaucho chefs carving fire-roasted meats, filet, ribeye, picanha, sausage, even lamb directly onto your plate, non-stop. Before the meats even arrive, the market table impresses with gourmet cheeses, cured meats, fresh vegetables, and crisp salads. A feast before the feast. Plates never stay empty. Flavors are bold and the energy is unmatched. It's easy to see why Fogo de Chao outshines traditional steakhouses. It's not flawless. Busy nights can slow the meat rotation, and service may lag, but those moments are rare. It delivers one of the most immersive, indulgent, and unforgettable steak experiences you can find, even if perfection isn't guaranteed every night. Fogo de Chao proves steak isn't just dinner, it's an event. If Fogo de Chao is a steak show, the Capitol Grille is a flawless steak masterpiece. The Capitol Grille. After all the hits and misses, one steakhouse stands above the rest, the Capitol Grille. From the moment you walk in, it's clear why this place is the undisputed king. Dark wood paneling, crisp white linens, and service that anticipates your every need. It's luxury without being stuffy. The meal looks like a masterclass in the art of steakhouse cooking. From huge bone-in ribeyes finished with aged balsamic to Kona-crusted New York strips, every dish is expertly prepared. Every cut of beef is treated with care, seasoned and cooked exactly to order. Side dishes and appetizers aren't an afterthought either. They complement, not distract from the star of the show, the steak. Reviews say it all. Perfect, flawless, worth every penny. Unlike other chains, the Capitol Grille rarely misses. Across its 75 locations from DC to Atlanta, the experience stays consistent. It's real superpower, elite, dependable steak every single time. No gamble needed.